Imagine this. You're in control of one of the largest and most powerful empires on the planet. You have access to more riches and luxuries than 99.9% of people, and you can fulfill any desire that you may have. What would you do? For Marcus Aurelius, the answer was simple. Delve into philosophy. In today's video, we'll be exploring 3 key pieces of wisdom from one of the most famous Stoic philosophers to ever live, Marcus Aurelius. Long before his quotes were peppered throughout Instagram and his school of thought, Stoicism, was pushed forward by self-help influencers on the internet, Marcus Aurelius was an accomplished Roman emperor and philosopher. Marcus took control of the throne after his uncle's death in the year 161, and although the Roman Empire witnessed quite a lot of military conflict during his time as emperor, he was known for ruling with a focus on duty and moral integrity. In addition to being an emperor, Aurelius was also a philosopher. He contributed significantly to Stoicism, which is a philosophy that emphasizes the importance of rationality, personal virtue, and the acceptance of things beyond one's control. Aurelius contributed to Stoicism mainly through his work Meditations, which was written while he was on a military campaign sometime between 170 and 180 AD. He wrote the text to be a source for his own guidance and self-improvement.
You take things you don't control and define them as good or bad. And so of course when the bad things happen or the good ones don't, you blame the gods and feel hatred for the people responsible or those you decide to make responsible. Much of our bad behavior stems from trying to apply those criteria. If we limited good and bad to our own actions, we'd have no call to challenge God or to treat other people as enemies.
Throughout Meditations, Aurelius reminds us that true freedom lies in remaining attentive to what we have control over. We tend to get upset over things which are beyond our control, which ultimately does nothing for us. As Aurelius points out, if something is inevitable or completely out of your control, it's basically pointless to get upset about it. The only thing that getting upset does is harm you further. The best course of action is to weather the storm by focusing on what is in your control, such as your thoughts and subsequent actions. Another benefit of focusing on what's in your control is that it mitigates our ability to blame others and external circumstances, which ultimately promotes accountability. People blame others as a way to avoid facing their own flaws and errors in judgment, which does nothing but make their own problems worse. By focusing solely on what's in your control, your thoughts and actions, you become more accountable and can avoid wrongly placing blame.
It's all in how you perceive it. You're in control. You can dispense with misperception at will, like rounding the point. Serenity. Total calm. Safe anchorage.
According to Aurelius, interpretation is a critical part of any Stoic's intellectual toolbox. How we interpret things can dictate how much something can harm or benefit us. Things do not dictate how we perceive them. That part is fully within our control. Through interpretation, we can take even the hardest of situations and use them to benefit us in some way. This isn't to say that parts of life aren't painful, hard, or frightening, but rather that we must do our best to minimize the impact that these things have on us by using what is in our control to our full advantage. At the end of the day, it is completely in our control as to how we interpret and react to everything that is thrown our way in life.
Don't let your imagination be crushed by life as a whole. Don't try to picture everything bad that could possibly happen. Stick with the situation at hand and ask, why is this so unbearable? Why can't I endure it? You'll be embarrassed to answer. Then remind yourself that past and future have no power over you. Only the present. And even that can be minimized. Just mark off its limits. And if your mind tries to claim that it can't hold out against that, well, then keep shame upon it.
Within Meditations, Aurelius also advocates for us to live in the present and not take our lives for granted. It's easy to get caught up within your own head and constantly think about everything but the present moment. Aurelius highlights the fact that the past and the future have no power over your life and that the only thing that really matters and can impact you is the present.
Think of yourself as dead. You have lived your life. Now take what's left and live it properly.
Aurelius's comments regarding the finiteness of life are powerful because they convey a simple yet impactful message. It's important to live life well and true to who we are as individuals. This means pursuing what you truly want to pursue, believing in what you truly want to believe in, and conducting yourself true to who you are. Why? Because our time on earth is brief. We get one chance to live the life that we're living now, and it would be a gross miscalculation to live a life that you don't want to live. How we live our lives, including our actions and our thoughts, are completely in our control. Therefore, how we live should be truly reflective of who we are as individuals. If you enjoyed today's video, be sure to check out my philosophy newsletter for my full library of articles. Link in description.